put your own money, time, energy on the line because it will level you up fast. Trying to get free solutions of everything is just not going to get you anywhere because you have no skin in the game. He says you will not rise to your potential, you will rise to your standards, and those come from what you've got on the line. If you have got nothing on the line, you're not going to get the benefits. Hi, my name is Moe Ghias. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning. Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. My name is Coach Moe, and today's Healthy System is about 5 anti-fragile rules for a life that gets better under pressure. You see, stress and pressure are a constant in life. If you are going places, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to Healthy Systems, I know you want more out of life and you're trying and you're an ambitious person who's always wanting better. Well, in that case, you're going to feel more pressure. You're going to have more stress in life, and that is just a part of it. So today I'm going to give you a framework. I'm going to walk you through a new book I've been reading. It's called Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. If you haven't read this book, please read it. It's such an amazing read. But in this episode, I'll actually summarize it. So then you already have a really good idea on how this works. So anti-fragile. So let me give you a little summary of this. Some people, right, they break when life gets hard. Some people barely survive. And there's a few, the anti-fragile, those people actually thrive under stress. So I want all of us to at least have some of those anti-fragile qualities, because if life is going to be tough, if life is going to throw problems at us, which one would you rather be? Would you rather be somebody that just cracks under pressure, that stresses themselves out? Or would you rather be somebody that actually knows how to handle the stresses of life? And that's what we'll talk about today. So in this episode, I'll give you the 5 high performance takeaways that I got from this book. Anti-fragile. So the mindset that keeps people recession proof, stress proof, and damn near untouchable, right? I know that's a big ask, but I really like how Nassim Taleb thinks about it. So obviously Nassim Taleb he's a very successful entrepreneur, investor, trader. And if I'm not mistaken, his education was in the mathematics world. So he comes from a very analytical point of view, but also a very real human point of view. He's a very well-read guy. Matter of fact, he's very much the opposite of a lot of the softness hoo-hoo crowd. So a lot of the advice he'll give you is very like straight up that works. So at the end of the day, this stuff, at this point in my career, it really speaks to me because I went to college for engineering, biology, all of that. And over time, I realized there's a lot of fluff in the personal development world that is just all about, like have a 3-hour morning routine, take hot showers just like all that stuff that just makes you a little soft. And like even to get your day started, you needed 10 supplements just to like get the brain going. But Nassim Taleb, he's very much the opposite. He talks a lot about like just doing hard things, working out with heavy strength training workouts, but also like just being that person in life that knows what is the noise and just the fluff and being able to identify the signal. So in this episode, I'll walk you through the 5 biggest takeaways I got from his book, Anti-Fragile. So the first lesson I learned is very powerful, which is stress is your superpower. Far too often when we get stressed, especially in the very much into personal development world, I noticed there's a part of personal development world, the coaching world and the guru world, where they think that whenever stress hits you, oh my God, you're not in alignment. Something is off. Oh my God, you should change something. But the truth is, stress is your superpower, right? So anti-fragile systems, just like healthy systems, anti-fragile systems don't just survive stress. They actually require it to grow. So let me explain. Most people, they try to avoid discomfort. They try to avoid anything that feels hard, right? Just like think of that one friend that just doesn't want to exercise. So they forever try a diet after diet after diet after diet. Or they just don't hire a coach because they're like, I'm just going to try another free fucking diet. God, I'm only 2 minutes into the episode. I already dropped F-bomb. Excuse my French, please. I'm trying to sound more educated these days. But overall, most people try to avoid discomfort and they stay weak forever. And in fitness, right? Another example, I'll give you more examples so this point lands home. So in fitness, your body gets leaner as you lift heavy, and then you also rest at night. You rest smart. So in life, for example, confidence only grows through confrontation, risk, failing forward, trying things, building evidence that you can do hard things. Confidence only grows from when you look at stress as your superpower. When you face stress and you get stronger, face stress, get stronger, lift heavy weights, body faces stress, and it gets stronger. So action for you from the first big takeaway, which is stress is your superpower. So little action item for you is stop asking for it to be easier, right? Start asking for the strength to handle more. Because if you're not under pressure, I promise you, you are not under growth either. So this is where most people get stuck. They ask for a life that's easy, but they also want to grow. It's like the cost of one is the other. So stress is your superpower. That's rule number one. Rule number two, never optimize yourself into fragility. This is one of the other takeaways I had from Nassim Taleb's book, Anti-Fragile. So basically, fragile people are obsessed with efficiency, and then they break when life hits back. Versus anti-fragile people, they build buffers, they build systems, they have backup meals ready to go, they have cash savings, they also have built-in rest days. They're not always trying to lift heavy as hell every single day. They're resting, they're giving their body some rest as well. And they're also giving buffers. So like one way we do this with clients is like, I ask clients like, how many days can you exercise? They're like, oh, dude, all days, 7 days. I'm like, yeah, I know that. But let's just start with 4 days. Because if you just stick with 4 days, now we're building buffer into your system. Meaning if you have, let's say you got called to work one night and now you can't work, 5th or 6th day. It's okay. You did your 4 workouts this week. So we had buffers in the system and you're still getting stronger. You're getting plenty of rest and you're able to live your life. Versus the fragile system would just be like, yo, I'm going to work out. I'm going to do 8 workouts in 7 days, or I'll do 2 workouts a day. It's like you are so freaking fragile. You don't even realize it because now you're putting the rest of your life at pause. So in fitness, for example, if your whole routine collapses when you miss one meal or one workout, it was too fragile to begin with. The routine itself was too fragile to begin with. By the way, at the time of this recording, I just recently got married last week. And I was super busy with family events. I was super busy with all the wedding activities. But I still stayed on top of it. I still looked lean as hell. I've still maintained my 11% body fat percentage. And I'll do another full podcast episode on that, like how I was able to do that. But it is genuinely because I built an anti-fragile system. As all of you know who are married, wedding week is very stressful. There's a lot going on. So a lot of the time what you see is like fragile people break. They're like, yeah, man, I gained 15 pounds because I just stressed and ate more. Versus anti-fragile, we're like, this is our lifestyle. This is so normal. I didn't gain a single pound. So at the end of the day, you build your life like a strong body. You want it to be flexible. You want it to be, overall backed up, strong, ready for storms. Because redundancy, like Nassim Taleb says, is not just a weakness, it's resilience. He says resilience comes from just having buffers, having systems in place where think about, I'll give you an easy example. If you're driving your car, right, and one of your tire pops, having buffers in the system means you have an extra tire in the car. And then you can easily put on, and that extra tire, that spare tire will be that redundant system, right? Because you get be 100% efficient with driving on the perfect roads, but that is a very fragile system because you're in control of the roads and roads will sometimes be messy, right? Versus anti-fragile system would be, I have an extra spare tire and I know how to install it. And in case the roads are bad and something like tire pops, I'll know exactly how to deploy the extra tire. So that is an example of anti-fragility. So I hope this is making sense. Let me keep going, and then I promise by the end of this, you will truly get it. So rule number 3. So the first rule was stress is your superpower. Rule number 2, never optimize yourself into fragility. Rule number 3 is use the barbell strategy. He uses the barbell strategy because Nassim Taleb apparently loves deadlifts like I do. He's a big fan of it. And he's I think he's a gentleman in his late 50s, if not early 60s. But he calls it the barbell strategy. Basically, he says, do not live in the middle. He's a big fan of mixing extremes, but also mixing boring and safeness in it, right? He talks about be boring, but also bold. So when it comes to fitness, you can be doing daily walks, which are pretty low risk, but you can also be doing high intensity strength training lifts, which are high reward and they're actually going to change your body. So far too often they're like, yeah, I walk 10,000 steps a day, but I'm not losing weight. I'm like, yeah, because you're only doing low risk stuff. You're not going to change your body with that, right? Same thing in finances. People are like, yeah, I have a steady job, but I'm not rich. I'm like, yeah, because you picked safety. So what Nassim Taleb is a big fan of is like, he's like, hey, keep the steady job, but also make some bold investments, right? So like 80%, keep it safe. 20% go bold, right? So 80%, you can just be walking. But the other 20%, do 3 to 4 strength workouts that are tough, right? Same thing with your finances. Keep the steady job, keep some savings, but the 20% of your income, put it in some bold investments. Otherwise, you're just bound to just be mediocre, right? You just kept a job, kept steady little job, and then, you didn't get anywhere in life. So that's like one way. And then in mindset, he talks about humble learning and audacious execution. So basically, like you can be learning a lot, but also be very audaciously executing on your mission. Take action. So live on both ends, right? Like be soft, but also be savage. Balance is boring. So that's why you gotta have to like have 20% extreme and then 80% safety. Okay. So middle path keeps you safe, but never powerful. So just remember that, right? Use the barbell strategy where 80% of the time you can be doing something super safe and 20% you are really pushing yourself. Now, rule number 4, this will help you in just life in general, especially in 2025, which is cut the noise and trust the signals. So what does that mean? Well, in 2025, for example, there's just so much noise on the social media. So instead of scrolling TikTok for fitness tips and, trying diet plans and weight loss plans and all of that stuff, the workouts that just get you nowhere, basically, the more you consume, the more confused you get. The more you consume, the more confused you get. You see, anti-fragile people, they follow time-tested systems. They sleep, they lift weights, they eat protein, they reflect, they journal. They pick one strategy and they go all in for at least 3 to 4 months, right? 90 days. And then they reassess only after effort has been applied. You see, one thing that to remember is like success is boring. Consistency is king. But the trends, they're mostly just noise. Trends are noise. They're just fluff. They're not going to get you anywhere. Matter of fact, I've been a personal trainer, nutrition coach, online fitness coach. I've trained a lot of nutrition coaches and fitness coaches myself. And after training over 2,000 clients, there's so many trends on weight loss and diets that are popping up at TikTok. Half the time, I don't even know what they are. So that tells you how bullshit they are. You know what I mean? It's just like literally every day I'm on a consultation and somebody says, yeah, I tried that thing. Do you know it? I'm like, no, never heard of it. Because these things just come in and out because they're not useful in the long run, right? Every day, some little girly out there comes up with a new diet, or some guy, some gym bro comes up with, like, it's just bullshit. Like, it's just noise. There's so much noise out there, and you're just wasting your time just listening to it. Listen to the signal, okay? Signal matters more than the noise. And if you don't know this analogy, just look it up. What does it mean? Signal over noise. And it'll tell you. It's an engineering expression that people use. It's like when you're listening to the old days and you're listening to a microphone and you're trying to capture like the back before the phones, they used to listen to it. But it's like the signal is like, right? And then they have the noise, which is just like all the other fluffy sounds around it. So like a really trained person would be able to tell when the signal was coming versus when it was just noise. And you have to realize that ability in your life. You got to be able to discern what is noise and what is signal. Okay. So to all these new diet tips and tricks, none of them work. Like it's just useless. Whereas if you just listen to the signal, you'll be way better off. And rule number 5, this one is powerful. Write this one down. Skin in the game creates winners. Skin in the game. So Nassim Taleb goes as far as saying, do not take advice from people who don't have anything to lose by giving you advice, right? Meaning if a fat person is giving you weight loss advice, don't listen to them. They don't have any skin in the game themselves, right? Same thing if somebody's giving you financial advice and they don't have anything to gain or lose, be careful when you're listening to them. So in this case, it makes a point that you will grow fast when there's something real at stake. For example, free advice is easy to ignore. Real investment comes from real focus, right? So like it basically talks about like in fitness, you should hire a coach, hire a personal trainer, buy a program, track your food, learn everything you can when it comes to fitness and nutrition, like fully commit. Once you have skin in the game, you get 100 times better results. In business, he talks about the same thing. He's like, show up for your business, risk looking dumb, post about your business, right? Put your own money, time, energy on the line. because it will level you up fast. Trying to get free solutions of everything is just not going to get you anywhere because you have no skin in the game. He says you will not rise to your potential, you will rise to your standards. And those come from what you've got on the line. If you have got nothing on the line, you're not going to get the benefits that other people who have shit on the line will, because they have skin in the game. So these are like super important takeaways that I took away from it. Rule number 1, stress is your superpower. Rule number 2, never optimize yourself into fragility, right? Rule number 3, use the barbell strategy. Rule number 4, cut the noise, trust the signals. Rule number 5, skin in the game creates winners. So anti-fragile basically is more than just a concept. It's a call to action. The world doesn't reward those who play it safe. It rewards those who show up, stress their system, and adapt until they're bulletproof, right? So if you're tired of getting knocked over and over by inconvenience, it's time to build a system that makes your body stronger under pressure. And the last example he gives is he talks about a candle versus a fire. So he says a candle, when the wind blows, the candle just turns off, right? It just shuts down. It just dies, right? But when there's fire and the wind blows over the fire gets even stronger. So fire is an example of an anti-fragile system, versus a candle is an example of a fragile system. And in life, we know the winds of life are going to knock us down. So which one would you rather be? Would you rather be a weak little candle? Or would you rather be the fire that gets stronger with the circumstances of life? And I would rather be the fire, because the candle just gets you nowhere, right? So at the end of the day, if you're looking for that strength in your life, if you want to be a winner, you're going to face a lot of obstacles in your life. You're going to face the winds in your life, and it's better to be the fire than the candle. So at the end of the day, I would recommend you read this book. It's called Anti-Fragile. And I read a lot of books. Matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a full-on library in my office in a keep. One of the best wedding gifts I got was one of my cousins bought me like all the books on my Amazon wish list. And reading books has really, really helped me level up in my own life, because you learn from other people. You just become a better person in your own personal development. So at the end of the day, if you want my list on Amazon of the books that I recommend, go to this link, which is bit.ly, so bit.ly/Moe, MOE books, BOOKS 1. So bit.ly/Moe books 1. Go to that list. I'll take you to my Amazon wish list. And then you can take a look at all the books that I recommend to all my clients, books that actually make you tougher mentally, because I can give you the best workouts and the best meal plans. But if you're mentally weak and you're mentally always in your head and you're struggling and you don't have the mindset there, you'll struggle unnecessarily. And I would rather you avoid the unnecessary struggle and get into reading books, get into becoming anti-fragile, get into becoming stronger. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And again, if you like this episode, leave a comment below, message me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, and then let me know how you love it and what other episodes you would like for me to record. I'd love recording Healthy Systems. I don't even take on any sponsorships. I just post this content to help you guys out, and I just enjoy it myself, because it just feels really good when my own clients are like, Coach, I listened to that episode. Or whenever a friend that I run into, they're like, bro, I listened to that last episode. It means the world to me, genuinely. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. 1, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Moe Ghias, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.